Hey folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today I'm going to list my top 10 favorite video games for the 2016 DGA Awards. Standard disclaimers apply, just like with the board game video I did. These are games that were released anytime. I tried to give preference to the games that were released this year, but there's a few that I really like, and I don't want to see off this list. So, and I'm fighting off a cold, so I apologize if I'm sounding a little raspy. Top 10 favorite video games, not a best of list, as I've said in my board game video. You have to play every single game on the market to say something is the best. It has its SEO benefits, yes. However, I don't want to say something is the best when I haven't played everything. You know, it's just not fair. So, these are my top 10 favorite video games at this point in time. Okay? Regardless of publication date, but again, with preference to games that were released this year. Number 10, Company of Heroes 2. I loved Company of Heroes 1, but thought it was too difficult. Company of Heroes 2, a little bit more friendly, but at the same time, challenging enough to where I want to keep coming back to it. I love all the different factions. It's a tough as nails RTS. But once you get a handle on the cover mechanics, what units do when to do what. I mean, it's not like you're building all these units and throwing them at your opponent. No, you've got squads here, and a squad here, and you're trying to send these 3 units in different areas, trying to capture different points on the map to get resources. So it's not like you've got 300 units that you're just throwing at your opponent. You have to manage these squads and keep them alive. And I really like that aspect of it. Number 9 is Redcon. I have so many videos out on my YouTube channel of Redcon. It's unbelievable. I like it even more now that there's an easy mode. You don't get any achievements or anything like that for it. However, you can basically, as you level up, there's no like point limit. You don't have to. There's no cash, so you don't have to buy turrets. You own everything. So as long as you're up to that proper level. So the easy level or easy mode allows you to try out levels with various guns and different turrets and different abilities to see what works and what doesn't. So I like Redcon even more with that easy mode. Number 8 is Civilization 6. I love Civilization in general. Civilization 2, I mean, how could you not like the Elvis impersonator? But Civilization 6 was released this year, and I'm having a great time with it. For those of you that have never played a Civilization game, I'm sorry. You may want to. If you don't like turn-based 4X games, then you may not like this, but I love the idea of seeing a civilization from, you know, the old warriors up to Marines or whatever they are, and creating nuclear weapons, and just I love the progression there. It's really cool, and tech trees and religion and culture, and there's so much to consider. Anyway, number 7 is XCOM 2, a great turn-based strategy game. Really focused on cover, and I mean the aliens will mess your day up if you run someone and use up all your action points and run them right into the center of the playing field. You're gonna get slaughtered. This is the kind of game where you got to take your troops, figure out where they're gonna go, and then sneak up on the location so that if you do run across any aliens, you can take them out with some action points that you still may have left. I like XCOM in general, but XCOM 2 turned out to be really fun. Number 6 is Fallout 4. I love the Fallout series, especially Fallout 3, but Fallout 4 is playable, whereas Fallout 3 is not. My new system, for whatever reason, doesn't run it. Fallout 4 is just an open world. I love just picking a direction and going and exploring. In Fallout 3, I came across this building that turned out to be haunted. It had ghosts in it. And then in Fallout 3 again, I came across a vault, and all you hear was, Gary! And all these Gary clones would come after you, just run at you and start pounding on you. I'm like, this is cool. Like, what's going to come at me next? So Fallout 4, again, is like that. I mean, you pick a direction and you go, and you never know what you're going to find. Again, it's sort of like Skyrim. Anyway, Infested Planet is number 5. A great top-down, real-time strategy game. You've got a squad, and then you're fighting off alien bugs. But as you capture control points on the map, the aliens mutate and do random things. You never know what's going to happen. The real draw to this game, though, is the custom game. You can set up the game any way you want. You can select how many squad points you start with, or what the mutations are, how many mutations the enemy starts with, how many hives the enemy starts with. Just so much customization. Number 4, Aven Colony. I should note that Aven Colony is still under development at this point in time. Some of these games are that I'm going to list. But Aven Colony is a great city builder-esque kind of game. I was very surprised. It's like PlanetSide, but I prefer Aven Colony because it's a bit more polished. Factorio is number 3. Oh my goodness, Factorio. I can't tell you how many hours I spent in Factorio trying to figure something out. But it's so satisfying once you do. Conveyor belts leading here, this material goes here into this factory, that pumps out this one, that conveyor belt goes this way, and then you've got another conveyor belt going to this conveyor belt. These two meet up, and these two things feed into these two things, and then those two things, those final products go into this thing. It's just one big nightmare, but it's so fun logistically to figure out. And at the same time, if you set it up, you can have a tower defense element where you've got these aliens coming at your base, and you can set up guns and towers and the like to defend. So really cool, Factorio. Number 2, RimWorld, another colony builder kind of thing, but you start with 3 people on this colony, RimWorld, and you've got to get food, you've got to farm plots, you've got to build a house, get technology, and sort of get better. It's just, and you've got people visiting and pirates on occasion attacking you. So it's a lot of fun. Lastly, City Skyrim. City Skyrims. Yeah, that would be fun. City Skyrim. How would that work? Anyway, City Skylines. It's not... City Skylines I don't think was released this year, but it's such a good SimCity-esque kind of game that I could not put it on this list. Because it's just... In every way, City Skylines is the SimCity game that I wanted, but didn't get. And because SimCity, the one that was recently released, SimCity 5, just bleh. I didn't like it. The map sizes were so small. Always online connection. They eventually fixed these things, some of them, but still, City Skylines just offers so much more. And the mod support, it works with Steam Workshop, so people can contribute to this game. You can download these things and be happy. I've got a bunch of honorable mentions that I'll get through real quick. Le Havre Inland Port. Originally a board game, but I like the video game better because of the layout. And the board game, you've got this damned wheel. I didn't like how that worked. To mark the passing of time. But in Inland Port, they're separated into columns, which I do like. It's easier to see that way. So based on the layout, I liked Le Havre Inland Port better on the PC. Off-Road Trading Company. Excellent game. It's an economic RTS. The market's fluctuating. You're trying to, sell products or materials like fuel or glass or electronics at a high price. But the market, again, is fluctuating. So, and it works based off of how many people are producing. If a lot of people are buying power, then the price of power is going to go up. So it would behoove you to make sure that you're producing enough power to run everything and even sell it to gain money. Because, if everyone's buying power and jacking up the price, then why wouldn't you want to sell that stuff for a high price? So, yeah, excellent economic RTS, Off-Road Trading Company. Space Pirates and Zombies 2, still under development. Really fun game. It's really different than Space Pirates and Zombies 1. In Space Pirates and Zombies 1, you had this huge galaxy numbered like 1 here, 2 here, 3 here, 5, 10. That's basically the difficulty level. And you were going from system to system trying to better your fleet. You had, I think, up to 3 ships that you can control. You would go back and forth between your mothership and various events. Really cool. Space Pirates and Zombies 2, however, is more of a, you've got 1 ship and you need to either create your own faction or join some other faction and survive against all of these other captains that are trying to do the same thing as you. And of course deal with the space zombies. Jackbox Party Pack 1, 2, and 3. Easy to play. It's a little confusing logistically if you're not familiar with such things, but you start the game on your computer, but then you log in with your phone. And all these people will be, like there's cribbage, Quidditch? Quidditch is in, no, that's Harry Potter. It's Fibbage, I think it is, Fibbage. And Quiplash. That's it. Yeah, I was combining Quiplash and Fibbage into Quibbage, and I think that's Harry Potter. Anyway, Vinny's shaking his head at me. It's a fun set of party games that the whole family can enjoy. The sillier you are, the better. Project High Rise. It's sort of like Sim Tower, only a lot cooler, I think. You know, you can put commercial, I don't want to say zones, but offices in there. You can put residential plots in there for people to move into, and then you have to manage noise and sound and make the tenants happy. But you've got to get so many of these building types in here to unlock the next building types. It's a really cool Sim Tower kind of experience. Heroes of the Storm. I'm usually not a big fan of MOBAs. You know, where both sides have a base of some sort, and they're trying to protect it. You've got towers in between. You've got mobs coming from both sides that you can't control. That they're just sort of, you know, they're your helpers. Yes, they're trying to get to the other side, but without your help, they won't get very far. But this Heroes of the Storm, that's Blizzard that made that. It's so friendly to the casual gamer like me that it's grindy, yes, but at the same time, it's not so grindy. There's daily quests that you can complete to get coins and gold and unlock more characters. So it's easy to play for me. It's my favorite MOBA, Heroes of the Storm. Mad Games Tycoon. It's on the same caliber as Game Dev Tycoon and a few other ones out there. It's where you're trying to create your own gaming company. You know, you're creating a game. You get to choose the genre. You get to choose the elements in it. You know, what technology you're going to use, and then you have to slide some sliders back and forth. You know, you're going to concentrate on graphics or sound. Or you're going to concentrate on this or this. Well, Mad Games Tycoon has the added benefit of you can create engines and then sell those engines at a profit and get profit share from that. And there's more ways to make money than just creating games. That's why I picked Mad Games Tycoon over the other games out there. The Long Dark, one of the best survival games I ever played. One of the best, still being developed. The sandbox, though, is fantastic. You know, you've got wolves chasing you down. There's bears now. You know, and there's just more stuff being added. It's just great. You know, being out in the elements, in the snow, you know, trying to fight off hypothermia. You know, you don't have to fight off zombies to be a survival, you know, for it to be a survival game. Just, you know, fighting off the elements and staying alive with hunger and thirst, that's enough. And this game does that so well. Halcyon 6 or Halcyon 6 Starbase Commander. That is, it reminds me a little bit of Final Fantasy, but in space, where you've got this huge honking starbase, and you've got a few captains that you're controlling, and you get to buy ships for these, and you can send them out on missions to do various things. You've got resource management, and then you bring these resources back, population back to your base, and build more rooms for your star base and improve them. And you're trying to create the best ships possible because you've got this really nasty threat, this alien threat that is basically threatening to destroy everything. So it's a cool game. I like it. Ashes of the Singularity Escalation. That one hasn't been released yet, but I have a press copy. It's on my YouTube channel. Go check it out. Free plug. It's the same as Ashes of the Singularity, the core game. However, it offers more content. You know, it's got more units, more map types, all that jazz. It looks beautiful if you have it on high, if you have a good system. And you can get it for like 20 bucks, I think, if you already own Ashes of the Singularity, the core game. Otherwise, it's just 40 bucks. It's a standalone, so if you don't own Ashes of the Singularity, but you want to own a Ashes game or an Ashes game, then you can get Escalation, and you'll get the full experience. So, Tabletopia. It's not a game, but more of a platform. You can go online and play games with your buddies, board games with your buddies. It's really cool. However, I don't like the fact that, you know, you can't play against any AI opponents, and there's no rule enforcement. I think those two things need to be added for that to be really, really beneficial. The Spatials, really cool Star Trek-esque kind of Starbase builder. You've got this big moon or planet or something, and you're building this station and you can build rooms, you create resources. It's sort of like Caesar, the Caesar series, where you're making this resource to feed into this, to then feed into this. You've got that going on in the Spatials. However, you get to beam down the planets, beat up aliens, and shoot them with phasers, level up your people. And as they level up, they demand more goods of a particular type. So the Spatial is really cool. If you like Star Trek, go check this out. Mini Metro, oh my gosh, that game is fantastic. It's so simple to play. Bring the triangles to this big triangle. Bring the smaller circles to this big circle. But you have a limited number of lines and a limited number of trains, limited number of tunnels. You've got a few special abilities that pop up every week that you can choose between. But still, it's very challenging. You have to constantly, and these points on the map will keep spawning. You never know what's going to come up next. Okay, star just appeared over here. Now I've got to take this line and undo it and then reconnect it this way. And then that affects blue, so I got to undo the blue line, put it over here. Then the red line needs to be moved over here. And then the green line is just, it'll give you a headache if you let it, but it's still a lot of fun. Drox operative. That took me by surprise, this Drox operative. You've got this one ship, and you've got a galaxy full of factions. And you can befriend one, make enemies with another. You've got multiple victory conditions, multiple lose conditions. But whenever you play this game, you're going to level up your ship. But when you finish a game, that ship and your level carries over into the next one. So you'll start at level 1, very beginning. You'll make friends, make enemies, level up your ship maybe to level 3, get better. It's an RPG, so you can equip various equipment to your ship. And then when you win that or lose it, you then go, starting as level 3, you pick a new map, pick the parameters, and off you go again. And you just keep doing that over and over and over again. It's so addicting. Battlestation Harbinger. This one, you've got up to 3 ships, and it's another one. It's sort of like Drox Operative in the sense that it's an RPG. You're equipping your ships with various weapons that you come across, but it's also tactical because it's real time, and well, Drox Operative is real time too, but it's real time, and you're trying to complete these goals without being destroyed. It's a roguelike in the sense that once you're dead, you're dead. So, but luckily, your profile will level up and will stay with you, so you can unlock newer and better ships as you play. But it's a cool game. Go check that out. Stellaris is a cool 4X game. The last time I played it, the opening was good, the middle and the ending was sort of lackluster. Like there was no end game events that really grabbed my attention. Some expansions were released recently that I haven't played that supposedly fixes that, but I don't know. But Stellaris is still a great 4X game in its own right. Up there with Civilization, I think. You've got Battlefleet Gothic Armada. And the reason I put this one in here, because it reminds me of Star Wars X-Wing, the tabletop miniatures game. Because you've got, you pick a faction from the, you know, you got like the orcs, and you've got, it's from the Warhammer universe. And you can pick a race, and you'll be leveling up your fleet as you go, and assigning new abilities to these ships. And these, the matches that you play are sort of one-off missions that you either succeed or fail at, but you'll still gain prestige points that you can use to further upgrade your fleet, level up your the personnel in your fleet, that kind of thing. It reminds me, the gameplay reminds me of X-Wing, which is why I really like this. Rocket League, so fun. That is such a fun game. It's just the idea of zooming your DeLorean, if you own the DLC, I do, you know, up a wall, upside down, doing a side flip, hitting the ball, getting it into the net last second, and then flying backward because the net exploded and blew you and everyone else. It's so fun. It's so smooth. The controls take a little getting used to because the ball will fly by you on a regular basis, and you're like chasing after it the entire time. That's what I do. Most of the match is me chasing the ball, trying to hit it. But still, for those of you that are good at it and can do trick shots, it's so satisfying to pull those off. Star Wars Rebellion. It's an oldie but goodie. I wanted to put Star Wars Empire at War down, which was sort of like a sequel to that, But Star Wars Rebellion was the original. It was a turn-based game. Doesn't hold up very well graphically, but it's still an awesome strategy game. Empire is on Coruscant. The Rebels start off somewhere in the Outer Worlds. You don't know where unless you're playing as the Rebels. The Rebels are weak. The Empire is strong. The Rebels are great at diplomacy and great at swaying planets to their side, whereas the Empire can just invade whoever the hell they feel like it. And then, you've got these victory conditions, destroy or capture Coruscant and capture the Emperor and Darth Vader. As the Empire trying to capture Mon Mothma and maybe Luke Skywalker, I think it was, I can't remember, and destroy the Rebel base. So it's a really cool system there. You can unlock new ships like Bulwark battle cruisers and Superstar destroyers, the Death Star. So yeah, it doesn't hold up well, but it's still an awesome game. I say that a lot, I'm sorry. Awesomenauts. Yeah, Awesomenauts. It's a 2D MOBA where you've got two sides, you've got turrets in between, take down the turrets, get to the base, destroy it. But what's cool about Awesomenauts is all the different characters that you can play as. And I guess it's with any MOBA, really. Like Heroes of the Storm, you've got all these different characters. Same thing, only it's a 2D. It's a lot simpler, and it's not as strategic. Like in MOBAs, you've got people getting mad at you for not staying in your lane, or for being, or for crossing lanes to help out someone else. Yeah, and this is 2D. You don't got to worry about that. Up or down, pick one. You've got one way or the other way. Pick a lane, go, and have fun with it. It's just, Awesomenauts is just a great 2D MOBA, and one I recommend. The Xbox, not so much. The Awesomenauts is on the Xbox 360, never updated. It sucks, because there's only a few characters. The PC version, however, there's an expansion that you can buy. It adds even more characters to it. Fantastic. Lastly, Stardew Valley. It is the Harvest Moon for the PC that I never owned. It's like Harvest Moon. I like Harvest Moon games. I like farming. I like, making money and that kind of thing. Stardew Valley is like that. You pick up logs or trash, throw it into your bin, it automatically sells for the next day. But there's all these other events that you can, discover as you're playing. This person, might have a thing that they might need. So, whenever you complete their quest, they'll give you something else. It just, various things happen. If you've played Harvest Moon, you'll know what I'm talking about. So there you go. That was the top 10 video games, well, my top 10 favorite video games for 2016 and my honorable mentions. So hopefully you found this list enjoyable. If you didn't hear a game, if there was a game on here that I didn't mention, I apologize. More than likely I didn't play it. I do have over 1,000 Steam games, so making this list was incredibly difficult because there are so many good games out there. It's hard to narrow that down to 10 choices and then some honorable mentions. I've got over 1,000 on my Steam library, and that's not counting what I have everywhere else. So yeah, I just top 10 favorite video games at this point in time. If you guys haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel and check out my official website, www.dadsgamingaddiction.com. This is Vince. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.